What if I told you there's one simple rule that governs, well, everything? I'm talking about every single uncertain event in our world, from a simple coin toss all the way to the wild swings of the stock market. It's all connected by this one elegant idea. So yeah, let's dive in and really unpack the language of chance.
So what is it? What's this master key that unlocks how we understand uncertainty? It's not some crazy complex algorithm or some secret knowledge that only a few people have. Nope, it's actually something you've definitely seen before, but maybe you never really stopped to think about what it means.
It all boils down to this one simple rule. Just one little mathematical statement that's the bedrock, the foundation for how we measure, predict, and basically navigate a world that is just fundamentally uncertain.
And there it is. Now, I know you might be thinking, whoa, okay, that looks a little intimidating, right? Like something straight out of a high-level math textbook. But trust me on this. By the end of this little explainer, you're going to see that this isn't just simple, it's incredibly intuitive. We're going to break this whole thing down together.
All right, so first things first, let's crack this code. We're going to translate this little bit of math into plain, simple English that anyone can understand. That's it. Seriously, that's the whole thing. All that fancy-looking expression means is that the probability of any event is a number between 0 and 1. It can't be less than 0, and it can't be more than 1. It's always, always somewhere in that range. Pretty simple when you put it like that, right? Okay, so now we know what the rule is. But I think the much more interesting question is, why? Why the specific rule? I mean, why is probability always stuck between 0 and 1? Well, let's dig into the fundamental logic behind it.
This is the question that really gets to the heart of the whole thing. See, it's not just some random rule somebody made up ages ago. There's a really solid common sense reason for it. And the answer? It's all in how we actually calculate probability to begin with.
The answer is sitting right here in this super basic formula. All you do to find the probability of something is you take the number of ways it can happen, the successful outcomes, and you just divide that by the total number of things that could possibly happen. That's the whole game.
And this simple formula is exactly why the answer has to be between 0 and 1. I mean, just think about it for a second. First off, can you have a negative number of successes? Like, can you pull -2 red marbles out of a bag? Of course not. That's just nonsense. So the answer can't be negative. And then second, can your number of successes be more than the total number of possibilities? If you flip a coin 10 times, can you get 11 heads? No way. It's impossible. So the top number can never be bigger than the bottom one, and that means your final answer can never be greater than 1.
So here's the really cool part. These numbers, 0, 1, and everything in between, they aren't just abstract math concepts. No, each one tells a very specific story about reality. It's a spectrum, from the absolutely impossible all the way to the absolutely certain.
So let's start at the bottom, at the absolute floor of our scale, a probability of 0.
When a probability is 0, it means the event is flat out impossible. It will never, ever happen. Why? Because there are 0 ways for it to succeed. Just think about rolling a regular 6-sided die. Is there a 7 on it? Nope. So the chance of rolling a 7 is 0 out of 6. It just can't happen.
Okay, now let's jump right to the dead center of our scale, 0.5. You know it as 1/2.
This right here, this is the point of perfect balance. It means an event has a 50-50 shot. It's just as likely to happen as it is not to happen. And the classic example, of course, it's the good old coin toss. You've got one way to get heads out of 2 total possibilities, a perfect 50-50 chance.
And finally, let's go all the way to the top, the absolute ceiling of probability, the number 1. When the probability hits 1, that means the event is certain. It's a lock. It is guaranteed to happen. For all practical purposes, we are certain the sun will rise tomorrow. It's a 1 out of 1 kind of deal. The number of successful outcomes is the same as the total number of outcomes.
But of course, most things in the real world don't land exactly on 0, 0.5, or 1. Most events live somewhere in between. Think about it. The chance of rolling a 6 on a die, kind of low, about 0.167. The chance a factory part is defective. Hopefully it's super rare, something tiny like 0.005. And a really skilled basketball player making a free throw? Well, their chance might be super high, maybe 0.9, but it's still not 100% certain, is it?
And this brings us to what might be the most important takeaway from all of this. The number itself, well, it's only half the story. To really get a feel for probability, you have to understand that context is everything. Let's take a 1% chance. That's 0.01. Sounds pretty small, doesn't it? But here's the thing. Whether it's actually small or a huge deal depends entirely on the stakes. A 1% defect rate in a factory making, I don't know, t-shirts, probably acceptable. But a 1% failure rate for a parachute, that's not just bad, that's catastrophic, totally unacceptable. See? The number is exactly the same, but the context changes everything.
So I really want you to burn this image into your brain. This simple line, from 0 to 1, this is your new mental model for all of probability. Every single event, every risk, every chance you can think of, it lives somewhere on this spectrum. From impossible on the left, to 50-50 in the middle, to certain on the right.
All right, so let's do a super quick recap of the big takeaways. First, probability is always a number between 0 and 1. Second, it's our best tool for measuring how likely something is to happen in this unpredictable world of ours. And maybe the most important point, remember that the number itself is only half the story. The context is what gives that number its real power and its true meaning.
So leave you with this thought. From impossible to certain, every single event, everything that could ever happen, lives somewhere in between. And that exact position on the line, well, that's its probability.